My 3-day trip to Singapore was pure food heaven. Let me share some of the best spots I visited with a local friend. I kicked off the first day at Lau Pusat Hawker Center. A hawker center is an open-air food court where different stores cook and serve food on the spot. Lau Pusat is popular among both tourists and locals, and when I went during lunchtime, it was packed. The food selection was overwhelming. It was hard to pick just one. I first tried to get pork rice, but the place was already sold out, so I went for the chicken rice instead. The chicken rice was 5.5 Singaporean dollars, and it came with the seasoned rice, tender chicken, cucumber slices, and a light chicken broth. Even though it was hot outside, the soup was so delicious that I didn't even mind the heat. The chicken was incredibly soft, almost like it had been sous vide cooked. And the rice was perfectly seasoned and soaked up the flavor of the broth. I couldn't stop eating. Watching what everyone else was eating was part of the fun too. Hawker Center's food selection was overwhelming. It was hard to pick just one. But the system is simple. Order first, then find a seat. If you're alone, it might be tricky to grab a table. After the meal, it was time for a coffee stop. I headed to Kyo Kohee, famous for their matcha latte. They only allow dining in for food, so I queued for takeaway. Watching them prepare the matcha fresh right in front of us made the wait enjoyable. It was not a long line, but each order took a while. Then came the shock. 11.9 Singaporean dollars for a matcha latte. I thought I misheard, but nope, almost 12 Singaporean dollars for one drink.
A seasonal item.
Seasonal item. With what ingredients? May I know? Can I just get the normal one, please, then?
Can I have your name, please?
Sun, S-U-N. Can you also make it less sweet?
At that price, it had to be good, and it was. The milk was rich and creamy, and the slightly bitter matcha balanced perfectly with a hint of sweetness. If you're a matcha lover, this one is absolutely worth the splurge. Highly recommended. Before dinner, I stopped by Awfully Chocolate, a famous dessert cafe and a chocolatier. There were tons of chocolate desserts and cakes that looked amazing. It seems like they have several locations, and their chocolates make great souvenirs too. I ordered a chocolate bread pudding, which was around 13 Singaporean dollars. It was a bit pricey for dessert, but wow, it was insanely good. The bread pudding was super moist, and the rich, bittersweet dark chocolate hit just right. God, look at my face, I was overwhelmed. It came with a side of rum, and dipping the pudding into the rum added this boozy, melt-in-your-mouth magic. My blood sugar probably went through the roof. But hey, how often do you get to eat like this in Singapore, right? If you're looking for a special chocolatey dessert cafe in Singapore, this one is also highly recommended. For dinner, we went to 328 Katong Laksa in Katong. Laksa is a Singaporean noodle dish in a rich coconut-based broth with seafood. This spot is super famous and has been featured on several TV shows. A small bowl was around 7.5 Singaporean dollars, and it was plenty for one person. The broth was deep and flavorful with a bit of spice, and the short noodles made it easy to eat with just a spoon. Everything about it was so good that I couldn't stop eating. My local friend told me that Singaporeans usually don't drink the laksa broth because it's high in calories from the coconut milk, but I finished mine. There were even bits of shrimp hidden inside. Honestly, I'd come back to Singapore just for this laksa. Looks amazing, tastes amazing, perfect. After laksa, we stopped by Birds of Paradise, a gelato shop nearby. They had a lot of flavors, but nothing too unusual, so I went with the pistachio and hazelnut. There was a scratch off event, but sadly I didn't win anything. The gelato was pretty standard, but I heard their waffle cones are a must try. Wish I had gotten one. Between the two flavors, I liked the hazelnut better. For me, it felt like just a normal gelato shop. It's not a must try, but if I pass by again, why not? We ended the first day at the Long Bar at Raffles Hotel, the birthplace of the Singapore Sling cocktail. I missed visiting last time, so I was really excited and I was desperately longing to come here. Luckily, there was no wait and we got in right away. The Long Bar has a fun tradition. You throw peanut shells on the floor. At first, it felt a little weird, but it was a fun experience. The vibe was more casual than I expected, and there didn't seem to be a strict dress code. I ordered the original Singapore Sling, which cost a whopping 41 Singaporean dollars. The cocktail was served quickly and it looked beautiful, a lovely coral pink drink. It tasted just as good as the price suggested, sweet, smooth and not too heavy on the alcohol. Honestly, it's one of the best cocktails I've had in a long time. The atmosphere was great too, and I would definitely come back. They even had a cocktail shaker machine that people would take turns spinning. Another little fun touch. But the price is kind of evil, isn't it? But I think it's worth trying. Then the next day, we started the day at Dempsey Hill, one of my favorite spots for its relaxing vibe. We came here to have chili crab at Jumbo Seafood. There is a big aquarium inside the restaurant which shows how freshy their seafood is. It was hot, so I ordered a coconut water, and honestly, it was the best coconut water of my life. Refreshing, cold and perfect for the weather. Since I don't eat much, we ordered the smallest chili crab available, 800 gram, along with stir-fried morning glory. The crab looked amazing and the sauce smelled incredible. I was worried a small crab might not have much meat, but it was packed. It took some effort to crack and eat, but I could have kept going forever. I also liked how the staff quickly cleared the empty shells before the bucket filled up. Very efficient. The chili crab sauce was slightly sweet, not too spicy, and paired perfectly with white rice. Some people say it's touristy, but honestly, I'd still recommend trying it at least once. The total bill came to about 109 Singaporean dollars. Since we were already at Dempsey Hill, we couldn't skip here's cafe. This place captures the green, lush, tropical vibe of Singapore so well. The food and drinks are always good, and sitting outdoors when the weather is nice is unbeatable. We sat outside, same spot as 2 years ago, funny enough, and ordered 2 mimosas with their 1-for-1 promotion. Refreshing orange juice with sparkling wine was perfect combo. They also adjusted the champagne amount just how I asked. 25 Singaporean dollars for 2 glasses felt like pure happiness. Sitting under the breeze with a drink in hand, all my worries just melted away. Next stop, Yakun Kaya toast. You can't leave Singapore without having Kaya toast. I love this brand for its reasonable prices and delicious toast and milk tea. We ordered a set with 4 slices of thin toast, soft-boiled egg, milk tea, and lemonade. Honestly, Kaya toast is something I could eat 100 slices of. The thin, crispy toast packed with kaya jam and butter is such a simple but unbeatable combination. I'm so glad we didn't miss this. The milk tea, which I asked to be less sweet, was perfect too. If you can't find the Yakun nearby, Toastbox or Kopitiam also make great kaya toast. Honestly, you can't go wrong with any of them. Highly recommended. Look at my face. How happy I was just by eating this kaya toast. And my last day came. I started early with a matcha latte at a local cafe near our hotel called KURASU. I just picked it off Google Maps and it had a cozy community vibe with lots of people dropping by even in the morning. I ordered a matcha latte for 7.5 Singaporean dollars, almost half the price of the one at Kyo Kohee. I wanted to pay in cash, but they asked for the exact amount since they didn't have change, and luckily I had it. The matcha latte was not bad, but I couldn't adjust the sweetness, which was a bit disappointing. After having the incredible $12 matcha at Kyo Kohee earlier, I couldn't help but compare. Still, KURASU's was not bad at all. But if I could choose, I would definitely go to Kyo Kohee. For lunch, we headed to New Baru, one of the hippest places in Singapore right now. It's a vibrant, repurposed old-school building that's now a cultural space filled with people of all ages. We had lunch at the Coconut Club and ordered kwapati, chicken nasi lemak, and teh tarik. The Coconut Club is a bit of a premium local restaurant, so it's a good pick if you want something nicer than typical hookah centers. The teh tarik was tasty, a little too sweet for me. Kwapati was my first time trying Peranakan food. You stuff well-cooked veggies and shrimp into tiny biscuit cups and eat them in one bite. It was so flavorful and fun to eat. I'm assembling them and have a one bite. The chicken nasi lemak came with crispy fried chicken, fragrant coconut rice, and sambal sauce. You really can't go wrong with nasi lemak. Everything was cooked perfectly and I couldn't stop eating. The bill was around 62 Singaporean dollars, definitely on the pricier side but totally worth it for the quality. After lunch, we planned to check out Haji Lane for some Arabian vibes, but out of nowhere, a crazy thunderstorm hit. I've never seen rain like that in Singapore. We tried waiting it out, but even after visiting a few shops, the rain didn't stop. There was even some minor flooding. When we passed by the Coconut Club again, the area where we had lunch was completely soaked. What a scene! We quickly changed plans and headed to Marina Bay Sands malls. I finally got to visit Angelina Cafe, famous for its Mont Blanc desserts topped with chestnut cream. We ordered one Mont Blanc and 2 teas. The chestnut cream was rich and smooth, and the fresh whipped cream inside balanced the sweetness perfectly, especially when paired with tea. Without tea, it might have felt a bit too sweet, but together, it was just right. The total was around 45 Singaporean dollars. For my final meal in Singapore, I had prawn noodles at 大使家. It's popular among Koreans after a famous Korean singer visited. I also had an apple juice, which was incredibly fresh and refreshing, like biting into Korean green apple with a hint of lemon. We shared one bowl because we were full, but honestly, I could have easily finished the whole one by myself. The prawns were huge, the fish balls were plenty, and the broth was bursting with rich prawn flavor. Every spoonful made me say, "This is so good," without even thinking. The order system is quite simple. You choose your prawn size, pick your noodles, and add toppings. Super easy. Now I'm editing the video and already missing it so much. Alright, this is all for my Singapore food travel. Which one do you want to visit the most? Let me know in the comment. Bye!